Hello everyone, welcome back. Let's dive into the world of concepts, theories, and how we figure out what's going on, right? So, first, concepts. These are like the building blocks of theories, those big ideas that help us understand stuff.
In communication studies, it is important to define terms clearly so that we can avoid misunderstandings. When we use terms that have different meanings for different people, it can lead to confusion and disagreement. For example, the concept of identity is complex and multifaceted. It can be defined as the way that we view ourselves or the way that others view us. It can also be seen as the sum of our experiences, values, and beliefs. There is no single definition of identity that is universally accepted. Different people may have different understandings of what it means to be me. This is why it is important to define terms clearly when we are communicating about identity. Just like the term media can be defined in different ways, some people might define it as only technical channels of communication, such as television or radio. Others might define it more broadly to include any channels of communication, including the voice. It is important to be aware of the different ways that terms can be defined and to choose the definition that is most appropriate for the context. Scientists also play a role in defining terms. They often give everyday words new meanings that are specific to their field of study. For example, the word text is often used in everyday language to refer to a written message. However, communication scientists use the word text to refer to any carrier of communication, including movies, songs, and paintings. This can be confusing for people who are not familiar with the scientific definition of the word. However, it is important to remember that scientists use precise language in order to communicate their ideas clearly.
Imagine a concept as a key that opens the door to a new way of thinking. And why is this important? Because it helps us explain or predict how things work around us. Like, the theory of gravity. It's like that superhero that predicts if you drop a pen, it's going to fall to the floor. And when we take a specific guess based on a theory, we call that a hypothesis. Now let's bring in some models. These are like blueprints that help us visualize how concepts they fit together. Now check out the first model. There's a box on the left, right? That's the cost, like dropping the ball. We call it the independent variable. And the other box, that's the effect, like the ball falling. We call that the dependent variable. Now, let's just switch gears and imagine a theory that giving someone a gift makes them like you more. So here the independent variable is giving gift and the dependent variable is how much they're going to like you. It's like we're science detectives trying to figure out how things are connected. So how do we prove or disprove our guesses? We do some fancy stuff called research, and guess what? We've got different tools in our toolbox. First, there's observation, just watching stuff happen. Then we do some experiments where we try to keep things under super controlled situations, and then we do some surveys. It's like asking a bunch of people some questions. Then we also deep dive with interviews to understand attitudes better. And lastly, we check out the messages itself using content analysis. It's like taking a magnifying glass to see what's really going on. Now let's get real. Not all theories can be tested. Sometimes we just can't peek into the hidden parts, like the theory that everything happens for a reason. Cool idea, but it's really difficult to test. And here's a twist. Some theories don't predict stuff at all. They're like different lenses to look at the world. Think of the stakeholder theory. It tells us to pay attention to different people's interest in a situation. They're like a view glass that help us see what's really important.